So, Coach, just overall assessing this game, back to back here, your overall takeaways from the loss here today.
Honestly, I think there was just too much waiting around. We were a little too slow on the forecheck. We weren't able to create enough pressure to create turnovers. Um, Obviously, the early penalties, to kind of start the game, allow them to get a 5-on-3. Um, you know, for basically their first shot of the game. That's going to be difficult for any goaltender to shut down, and especially one that's facing his first pro hockey game. And then just as the game went on, we didn't get enough from our top players, to be honest. Kind of a situation where a little bit streaky with our performance and our effort. So it's hopefully better for tomorrow.
Something that was uncharacteristic was the turnover, especially on your own end of the ice. Did you see that in Trois-Rivières, a different approach and a forecheck pressure that perhaps skaters you didn't see were prepared for, or was it something more self-inflicted?
Yeah, a little bit self-inflicted. Obviously, when they did have the puck in the offensive zone, I thought Trois-Rivières, they were making plays. Um, Lots of movement, lots of interchanges. Similar stuff that we preach for our offensive zone play. What they were able to do to us tonight. So a lot of that started with our line rush against and our poor gaps and our poor back pressure. So those things kind of snowballed into us playing poorly and them and Trois-Rivières playing well. Things that I feel like we could have just done better as a group. And again, hopefully that's something that we're better for tomorrow.
How'd you make your decision to start Matt Vernon?
Well, it was essentially, we brought him in to get a look at him. With Pat Nagel going back up to Lehigh. He was the one that we were planning on starting, basically kind of going into the weekend. So we knew that we were gonna get a look out of him and see what he was capable of. I thought he made some big saves. Obviously, like I said, that 5-on-3 to start, can't really point finger at him on that. Give up a breakaway goal with a well-placed shot, and then a face-off goal against where we weren't able to get a stick on it or block the shot. So, the performance from him, I thought was solid. And I'm sure he's getting comfortable in the net as he gets more action here. So, he'll probably be getting more starts down the stretch here, kind of depending on what our situation's looking like.
Garrett, just overall assessing this game here, after a kind of a thumping victory yesterday, more a back and forth effort. That was a close game throughout. What were your overall thoughts on the difference between last night and tonight here in the game and the result?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you put 6 in, you kind of expect to win. So, shorthand ourselves a little bit by only putting up 1 tonight. So, maybe just a couple lulls in our game, a couple mental mistakes, and kind of ends up in the back of our net. And a few bounces here and there, I think, in our favor, maybe changes the outcome a little bit. But definitely periods of the game that I think we're going to look back and wish we had done it a bit differently. And it's kind of one of those things. Super exciting game and clinch last night, and maybe a bit of lull of energy a bit today, and kind of shows in the outcome.
We were doing that clinch yesterday, and overall, I want to get a chance to talk a bit about just the entire month of March. We talked a handful of times about the beast of the schedule, 15 games, and you come out with 9 wins in that month of March. Just your thoughts overall on the team really coming together with a lot of 3-3s that you have once again this weekend you find yourself in.
Yeah, definitely grueling, and you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think when we were looking at it, March was a big month in terms of clinching and definitely in terms of playoff seeding. And I know home ice is something that we definitely want. Gives us a definite advantage. So, I think the guys have really stuck with it, and that's through personnel and training and equipment staff and the coaches and all that stuff to kind of get us to this point. So we're content with where we are, I guess, but we obviously want to keep going and pushing through and playing hard through the rest of the regular season and carry that momentum into playoffs.
Another power play goal tonight here for your club. You've scored power play goals in 8 of the last 9 games. What's really clicking well is you've been one of the helpers on a lot of the power play success as of late.
Yeah. I think the unit with Butch and Millie and Hyder and Goach and Shane have sort of bailed us out a little bit here and there. I think for us, we definitely have to be better, and it's great to see those guys find success, and I think it just goes from being simple and them getting pucks on net, and it's definitely helped us. And a night like tonight, it keeps us in the game, and it's kind of one of those things where you want it to be one of those things that puts you ahead and really wins you games. And I think if our special teams was even that much better tonight, it gives us a much better chance to win.
As the captain, what's the conversation gonna be like in the locker room as the playoffs are nearing?
It's kind of status quo. I think we've tried to kind of keep the same message all year, and from the beginning when we lost our first 3 or 4 games in a row, and we're kind of looking for an identity to December through March, and where we're kind of finding it. I think there's still a lot of guys that have a lot to prove, and a lot of guys that are playing for their pro careers too. So I think as a team, obviously you want to find that success, and it's kind of one of those things where kind of having that a more of a mean mentality, I guess, and maybe there were some people at the start of the year that kind of doubted us into where we are and sort of where we've positioned ourselves amongst the standings and headed toward playoffs. It's we're a hungry group, I think, and definitely excited to get there, but like I said, we kind of have to take care of the next 7 games and find some momentum and hopefully be playing our best hockey come mid-April.
What's the biggest message like to send when new guys are added to the roster?
Anytime I think new guys, especially coming from college or if we were to add a junior guy or whatever, and anytime a guy's playing his first pro game, or obviously with the deadline with a couple acquisitions and stuff like that, it's just finding ways to contribute, and obviously you want those guys to feel comfortable within the group, obviously, and with what their style of play is and what we brought them here to do. And I think Hank has done a pretty good job at bringing guys in that can contribute and help us to be a better team. And it's obviously really important as we kind of make a final push and try to win a playoff series and get to the next one.